Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. To throw is Watson. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And this is recovered in the end zone by the defense. My goodness, what a late turn of events here. Once that ball was loose, the question was, would this be 2 or would it be 6? It's 6. The defense able to pounce on it.
And for the offense, the training didn't really kick in, did it? Once that ball comes loose, you've got to get on it, make sure that you recover it, or make sure you punch it out of the end zone. Anything but give it to the defense to score a touchdown.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
You're knocking on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some points on the board. Instead, you cough it up and watch them take it the rest of the way to the opposite end zone. That's a 2-score swing that you just gave up.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. And there, a post route started out right, caught it in the middle of the field, went into the end zone. What typically makes those successful, those deep post routes?
You need help from your complementary receivers, okay? The guy that you want to get the ball is the guy that we just saw catch it and take it into the end zone. So he needs help from the other guys who have to occupy anyone in the middle of the field. Whether it's one safety, sometimes you get 2 guys in there, either run routes at them so they have to cover them, or somehow freeze them by running underneath them and hoping to draw them towards the line of scrimmage and throw it over his head.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throw left side, complete. It's Doyle. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. Flushed out, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. This is taken at the 23. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was really easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Faking the give. Now Watson going deep for Hopkins. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Zach Cunningham, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Fournette on the counter. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Richmond.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft,
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the 1st half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Now it's Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, You're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
And now you've got options on second down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Now back to throw. Nowhere, and it looks like the offense did get the football back, but it is clearly in that end zone, and it's going to be a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
And now out comes Houston. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
After the interception, here's Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flipped field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Watson now to throw. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. From the gun, here's Watson. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Now, coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Again, it's Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Jaguars getting set to go. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But not it.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Zach Cunningham with a pick. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Throw left side, complete to QT. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Dancing to his left. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
Richmond.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
And this is going to be incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Detroit! Gone!
They'll drop to throw. And he's got his man on the comebacker. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Watch it now, Barney! Gone! Detroit!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And a catch made here by Marquise Lee. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, right at the 40. Back to throw here. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Bernardrick McKinney. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Detroit! Detroit!
He'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 53. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one
the ball is out. Watson lost it. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses. Catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for Houston. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time? Yeah, but, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. They're going to look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, Makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
He'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Now a first down throw, Watson. And his throw here's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Evades the tackler and now some space. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. Off of play action, it's Watson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Telvin Smith in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Taking it about the 16. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Fournette. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense. First here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Second half beginning with a run from Fournette. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Again, it's Fournette. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
They'll set up to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at about the 31. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. From the 50, it's Watson. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw on 2nd is Watson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that is incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on 4th.
Come back, come back.
They are going for it. Here's Watson. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a first down. Facing a 4th down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Watson hands this to Foreman. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Watson looks to throw again. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Ben Braunecker with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Gun! Watching that, Barney!
Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Watching that, Barney!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Justin Reed. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. The drive starts with Foreman on the ground. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Now Watson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
3rd and long. It's Watson going deep for Hop, and that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Texans will extend their lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun!
looking to throw. Open man right side is Sharp. And they'll get him down here at the 23. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Steps away to his left. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. That's taken on the 25. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And here comes the Texans now. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. To throw is Watson. To throw on second down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Tiger!
On first down, Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Gun! Detroit!
He'll drop to throw. On the crossing route, complete. It's Cole. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Back now in Houston. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Now let's go! 3-19!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now back to throw. Lee's got it over the middle. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. The Jaguars on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Back to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just talks about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Deshaun Gibson there on the tackle.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Watson. They'll roll him out right. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they work this well upfield across the 45. He got 29 yards that time. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Richmond! Hey!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep back over the middle. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. To throw is Watson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Ryan Allen now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 15. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Leopard!
On play action, they'll throw. Out. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Whitney merciless. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Need something for deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.